This week we're making chicken broth. The ingredients are chicken, water, a few vegetables, and spices. That's it. First step is going to be to cut the carrots, so we're going to cut both ends. Then I like this handheld peeler, it's very effective. Next step will be to dice our carrots. Then we're going to go for celery. As for the carrots, we're going to chop both ends. And instead of chopping it all, which takes forever, I'm going to cut it in half and then in half again. That's going to give us less cuts to do. Next is going to be the 2 onions. I like to remove both ends. Then I slice in to remove the outer layer of the onion. Cut it in half. Be careful. And then with 3 fingers, I'm going to hold the ends and the other finger is going to hold to prevent the onion to fall apart. Cut the other way. Just dice your onion. You can put a bit of attitude. And we're going to do the rest of the onions. Next will be a teaspoon of pepper. And a tablespoon of salt. I like to use fresh rosemary. If you don't have it, just put a teaspoon of dried rosemary. Otherwise, it's about a tablespoon. Then we're going to cover the chicken with water. Very important to cover it entirely. We want to make as much broth as possible. So as you can see, it's not completely full right now, so I'm going to put a bit more water. Now our chicken is fully covered. So I'm just going to remove everything around here. This doesn't go to waste. We're going to put it in a compost bin, so we're not generating any waste. Let's put the chicken on the range. I'm going to put it at medium-low heat, and you need to let it cook fully covered for 3 full hours. After half an hour, it's going to start to boil. After a couple of hours, it's really going to boil, but you really need the whole 3 hours to let it produce yellow broth like this. While it's still hot, I'm going to remove the chicken. You need to be careful when you remove the chicken, so it doesn't disintegrate. So that's why you want to use the strainer and the tongs to carefully scoop the chicken. Sorry, little beastie. Here we go. Oh, the leg. Make sure you get everything into it. You see how easily it breaks. So let's strain it a bit, put it aside. Now this chicken is super hot. Don't touch it right now. We're going to put it away so that when it's cooler, we're going to separate the meat from the bone. But let's focus on the broth. We're going to put the broth through the strainer so that the vegetables are separated from the broth that's going to go in this big cup here. Try not to splash all over. And there you go, success! Beautiful chicken broth. Let's can it while it's still hot. I like to use this funnel here because its size prevents splashing, although I'm not that excellent at preventing splash. If you can it while it's still hot, what's going to happen is as it cools down, the pressure is going to pop the lid, and then you're going to be able to keep your broth for a long while. I'm going to use a stainless steel bowl just to put the veggies aside. And let's finish straining the broth. Those veggies are going to be for another recipe, so I'm going to put them aside for now and focus on the broth. On the very last one, you see there's a bit of pepper in the bottom, so you need to stop not to put all the pepper in your last can. And there we go. This chicken broth, once cooled down, can stay in the fridge for about 2 weeks.